It was fun. It was really exciting. T-Mobile Center is a beautiful place. The guys enjoy. It was an amazing atmosphere for the players, and we could feel how much fun the fans were having because we could hear every word from the fans. Like we could hear them cheering when we were coming on. We could hear them booing the refs, which we didn't have control over, you know. And we could. I mean, it was a great atmosphere, and we enjoyed it. And I think from the feedback that I've gotten from a lot of fans that I've crossed paths with since the game, they really enjoy it. So thanks to our front office for putting that on. I mean, the attendance was great. From
Mm,
what I'm hearing right now, it was over 6,000 plus people.
wow.
So thanks to our
Wow.
front office and the league for making it possible.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, you've been involved in indoor soccer for a number of years. So to kind of see the growth firsthand and to be part of a game like that, a showcase in a way, what did it feel like for you? Was it gratifying to be part of that?
It was, and I think this game really, not just me, for most of my players as well, my teammates, it really kind of gave them the picture that the direction the league is heading. You
Mhm.
know, having been around this league for a while, I have seen it before, and I've seen the changes, and it's nice to see where it's kind of heading right now under the new ownerships and leadership. So it was
Sure.
beautiful to experience it at least one more time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very exciting time. Okay, so you guys are off to a 8-1 start right now as a team. Before we start talking just personally what this weekend was for you, I just want to ask you, tell me a little bit more about the dynamic of your team this year and what's helped you find so much early success.
We have a wonderful group. That's one thing I'm very fortunate with, and it's just a blessing, the group of guys that I have that we have assembled. Um, I think one of the things that help us is we have guys that just want to play.
Mm,
They enjoy it. They have fun doing it, and the older guys that like John Sosa, the chemistry that he brings, he creates this atmosphere of just fun and professionalism. So that helps me. And then you have my assistant coach Stefan Stokic, who's there. He's also a really good with the guys. I mean, he found a really good balance between being a coach and being there for the players. I think we just have a wonderful bunch of players that just they love to play, they enjoy playing, and it makes it sometimes challenging for me because there are times where I feel like we need rest, but instead they want to do more.
yeah.
So sometimes I have to be um, hard on them and be like, no, and sometimes I'm like, okay, let's just do one more. But I don't know. It's just it's a great group of guys together. That's
Does it feel special this year so far to start this season, especially the way that you have with what sounds like a really unique group?
It does. It feels really special. The way we ended the season last year, we had a sense of the group that we had, how special we were, and what we are capable of doing. And we always had this sense from last season to the end, and now coming into the season where we felt like what, we were fortunate to have the same group of guys, and we were just going to try our best to continue from where we left off,
Mm,
and like I said, they love to play. So for us, we are very fortunate to start training in August compared
yeah.
to teams because most our entire team is local.
Mhm.
They're not out of state. So we assembled like as early as August, and we just have kick around. And I mean, guy like John Sosa is just he's behind me like, Leo, let's start. I just want to. So it's easy for us to start early and transition into the season, which really helps us develop that chemistry and how we want to play and help our fitness level. So all of those things, yeah. But it has
Yeah.
been special, and we are grateful for it.
That's fantastic. Okay, so this past weekend, you netted 4 goals, but in that little cluster of goals was your 200th. Do you remember that one specifically, the 200th goal? And, like, what do you remember from that moment?
I think it was the first goal.
Hmm.
Yes. It was fun because the guy that assisted on the goal, we had this Matt Lewis, I think, got the assist, but it was clear what was going to happen watching the play as I was playing target, and the ball came from I think it was Neto or Sosa, but it came from the back, and just anticipating everything, it was clear that Matt was going to get to it, and knowing how intelligent he is, he had only the best option was to find me because the defender had misjudged it, and his timing was off. So I just had to put myself in a position where Matt, it would be convenient for Matt to get the ball to me, and I was just facing Danny. So it was the first goal, and that's how it happened. It was an easy setup, and Danny had no chance on it because it was just the both
Yeah.
of us, and
Yeah.
I think the odds were in my favor. So
That's fantastic. You also got your 400th career point during this game as well. And, obviously in the moment when these things happen, you're just thinking about the game. You're thinking about winning, whatever that may be. And I know the atmosphere and all of those other things that you kind of had to take in this past weekend. But now that the dust has kind of settled on that game, have you had a moment to just reflect on this milestone? I mean, both goal number 200, but also your 400th career point in this league, and just your own maturation in this league over the years?
my wife reminds me of that. She does, and so that helps me. That helped me because if it wasn't for her and my teammates, obviously they make fun of me because they think that I do think about it, but I pretend like I done. So they're always like, "Hey, do you know you have one more goal left?" And I'd be like, "Really?" And they'd be like, But I have people around me, most especially my wife at home, who constantly tells me like, "Hey, great job." I mean, the words of
Yeah.
affirmation from my wife is amazing, and I'm grateful for her. But yeah, she reminds me, and I'm grateful for it. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of great coaching from all of my coaches and teammates. I've played with some incredible teammates. Even
Yeah.
Danny Whitman, who was going against me, he has been a tremendous part of this success because we played together for so many years and we worked out together for so many practices. I mean, we stayed for hours and he just had me shooting on him and he was working on his game and I'm working on mine. So, it was kind of nice to be on the same stage as Danny,
Hmm.
but at the same time, I felt bad for him because I know he deserves so much more, But that's where I was, and yeah, I'm grateful for it. I think I feel blessed.
Absolutely. I mean, I've read about your journey. I mean, coming to the United States, and you got here in 2002, but your path to getting here before that, it wasn't an easy one. So, for fans who want to know more about you but don't totally know just your background and your history, what can you tell them about just what it took for you to come here and be here permanently?
It was. I mean, I am who I am because of my journey of growing up and having the opportunity to come to America has really shaped me to be the human being that I am today and the athlete. But I I was born in Liberia. It's a third world
Mhm.
country, the only African country that was kind of colonized by the United States. And when I was born, we had a civil war that I grew up in, and it lasted for about 15 years. And it was really really deadly. But I was blessed to survive it. My mom and my siblings, and my mom had the chance to work for the interim government at the time, and she didn't like the way things were being run in the government at the time, and she spoke up against it, and her life was threatening at the time, and she got asylum and she came to America. And being that I was her only child at the time, so I was the next person who was at risk, and that's how I got the opportunity to come to America on asylum. And
Wow.
it changed my entire life. So that
Wow.
that was the process of my life just changing. and having the opportunity to come to America.
What did you learn from her? I mean, it seems like, she wasn't afraid to speak her mind, or she wasn't afraid to stand up for what she believed in. Is that something that you kind of caught on to at a young age, witnessing that from her?
Absolutely, it was courageous. I mean, Liberia and Africa in general is a whole different continent where,
Mhm,
it's democratic, but at the same time, people are so power greed that they want to stay in power forever. And people that believe in the democratic system try to express their disbelief. Then so I think it was courageous that
mhm,
has helped me in so many ways, as a player, as a coach now, just to be able to talk to guys who I have played with, and for so many years that I've had the chance to coach right now, and just
mhm.
um put aside our friendship and just have the courage to be like, hey, whether it's John or whoever it is, be like, hey, friendships aside, this is what we need to do. So yeah, I think that has really helped shape my life in so many ways, and also helped me um, be the human being that I am, because my mom has really helped me through her examples.
Do you feel like it gave you, outside of playing soccer, it also gave you a different purpose in your life? And I'm kind of talking about the Kick for Christ initiative that you have as well. Like, do you find that you, because of the experiences that you went through, you felt motivated to give back, and kids especially seem to be the benefactor or beneficiary of who you're giving back to?
Correct. No, absolutely. Growing up in a third world country, um, Liberia is the second poorest. I mean, Haiti is the first, Liberia is the second. So yeah, all of that, and being blessed to have been taken out of that situation and come to a country with such great opportunities. And so yeah, all of that has really helped me in this direction, and also my faith. I know the life that I'm living is not luck. It's
Mhm.
God's divine. He has shaped my life the way he wants, and this is why I'm in the position that I'm in right now. So all of that has helped me in this direction where I feel the need to give back using my position, and I'm grateful for it. And somehow he makes way for me to be able to do it, with playing and family, and still having the opportunity to travel to places like Haiti, South Africa, and third world countries, and be able to just be a blessing to kids, whether it's used soccer gear or new,
Mhm.
and right now we almost done. We are 90% done building this community center, where it's going to be a high school, a library, and a playground for kids. And so we are
Wow.
excited for all of these things that God has placed on us to be able to do while we continue
Absolutely.
to play soccer. So yeah.
How did COVID, if at all, affect just your plans? I know you like to try to go back as often as you can, but were they put on hold during that time, or how did you kind of, I guess, adapt during that time?
It has put everything on hold. So we were supposed to go last year in August. We had shipped a 20-foot container, actually a 40-foot container, with about 45 desktops for the community center. Um,
Wow.
we shipped a bunch of um soccer gear that we got from all around the U.S., and some included with the United States Soccer Federation sent us all these gear from
Wow.
from from. So we had shipped these items, and we were going to go, and then the country got shut down. Liberia got shut down because COVID was on the rise, and
Mhm.
so we did not go. So we had to put those things in a storage, and because of the season, I'm not going to be able to go. But my good friend and brother is leaving. Actually, he's leaving this weekend, and he's going to help get those things out as much as he can, and then hopefully by God's grace, um, I'm hoping to go pretty soon after the season.
Well, that's fantastic. At least some of that stuff is going to be able to get over there, and then hopefully you'll be able to come and join him later on. But it just, to see that impact, and first, before we even get to that, do you find that you said sometimes you're giving gear, soccer gear, whatever? Does soccer kind of bring people together in that way? Do you use soccer as a tool to kind of unite kids and just kind of give them an outlet? And is it special for you because it's obviously something that's been so important and dear in your own life as well?
It is. It is, and it's a great tool that really unifies people, and I've witnessed it because during the Civil War, the different rebel groups will be fighting, but when there was a national team game, like right now we have the African Cup of Nation going on. If there was an African Cup of Nation qualifier, everybody stops fighting, and they will
Wow.
come and watch Liberia play
Wow.
Sierra Leone, Nigeria. I mean, just for that game,
Wow.
peace and quiet for a week, and then the moment is over, then they go back to. So I have witnessed it, I've experienced it, and it's really nice to be using that tool to continue to put joy and on kids' faces.
Mm, mhm.
Everywhere we go, the moment we drop soccer ball, I mean, kids come from everywhere, shoesless, pantsless, shirtless. I mean, it doesn't matter. They all come running. In Haiti, they think I'm Haitian, and they start speaking French, and then eventually I'll tell them, okay, that's how much I can speak. I can speak anymore. And then they'll be like, oh, when we go to South Africa, the same thing. Anywhere we go, once you have that soccer ball, they don't see the gear, they just see the ball. And then they all come running. And then we use that. And then we surprise them with these items. And then we just share the gospel with them and inspire them and let them know that we were them, and somehow God blessed us. So He has a plan for them. But yeah, it's a great tool.
And can you see, when you go out and you do these outreach programs, can you see the response? Do you feel like the reception, the belief is there? Like these kids really do believe what it is that you're telling them and see a path for themselves as well?
They do, and I mean the kids, the adults, they all do because you see the joy on their faces,
Mhm.
and then when you go back, they remember, you know, and then they show you what they got from the last time, and it's so much fun. So one of my favorite
Mhm.
places is that we visit is the School for the Blind in Liberia. I mean, they really don't see what they're getting, but they can feel it, and then you can see the joy just kind of radiating off of them, knowing that
Mm,
they're sensing how special they are because somebody has brought them clothes, books. We took them their own scrolls so they can make their own books and stuff to be able to read.
mm,
So
mhm.
yeah, you get to see it, you get to feel it, and every year you go back, you see them grow, and you see the joy, the excitement. The moment the year you are there, they all come running, and it's just, yeah, it's always there.
And, it almost feels so trivial to ask you about, your on the field success, right? When you're doing things like this in the community. Uh, Tell me what it means to you to be in those situations and giving back when in those moments where you see the pure joy that you guys are bringing. What emotions come to mind for you?
It's humbling, it reminds me of where I came from and where I'm at right now, and how I shouldn't take it for granted,
Mm,
and now being a parent, it also just reminds me to teach my kids to just appreciate
mhm,
little things,
mm,
and also, like you said, when it comes to the on the field accomplishments, it's not that I work hard at it, and I feel blessed to be successful at it.
sure.
I feel like that's not
That's
my life.
I was gonna say, like that's a part of who you are, but that's
Correct,
not who you are.
correct.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right, right.
and when I think back on when we were in the middle of a civil war and we had no food, no clothes, and United Nations would bring U.S. aid, rice, chicken, and supplies. I mean, from strangers who took their time and resources and donated those things. And that's what kept us going. So when I found myself in this position to be able to go back and give what is material things, and when we visit these orphanages and the school for the blind, the school for the deaf, and we see their living standards, we feel moved to do more than just giving them material stuff. So when we visited the school for the deaf, these kids have been in this place for years. I mean, when they turn 18, they turn them over to the government. But I mean, their mattresses, their beds, I mean, it was like, I don't know how to describe it, you know? So we felt moved to be able to just change everything, get them new mattresses and pay for them to fix their bed frame. We took this guy from here with us. His name is Mike Zuba. He's very handy. He went out, got all the tools he needed, came and just took all the nails out of the bed frames and smoothing it out. And I mean, it was more than what we normally do, but it's just the position we were in, and we felt led to do more than just giving them clothes and shoes. And so for me, it's just a reminder, you know, I used to be in that position, and somehow God used somebody and he blessed me in those moments. And I feel honored and privileged and blessed to be able to do that for them too. And it's just, it's more than me, because there are so many people that they may not have the time that I have to be able to go, but they provide those resources, the means.
Yes.
Yeah. So my wife and my family and my brother and everybody that traveled with me, we are just grateful for everybody that
So
made it possible.
so if people are watching this and they want to get involved or donate or whatever it may be, how do they go about doing that? Do you have a website? Do you have a platform that how can we help spread the word?
We do. I mean, if you visit kickforchrist.org, www.kickforchrist.org, you can read about everything we do. You know, the pictures are there. And people want to come and experience these things, they're welcome. You know, you have to be 18 years old and older,
Mhm.
so that way you are responsible enough. And but yeah, we love to take people with us so they can witness it and experience it and just, you know. But yeah, if you go to kickforchrist.org, you should be able to just see what we do and how you can help and be a part of it. But thank
Fantastic.
you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we usually only do about 20 to 25 minutes and we're already pushing 25 and I have like six more questions to ask. So I'm gonna wrap it though for you. I'm gonna keep it short. A number of accolades in your career to go back to that on the field success, you know, especially in indoor soccer. So, two questions for you. What is the future for Leo Gibson? Like, what is the next thing that you're trying to accomplish on the field? And secondly, of all of those accolades, which one of those is the Ed Tepper Humanitarian of the Year award and the first person to ever get that award, which one stands out the most to you? So those are my two questions for you.
Oh,
What's next? What's next? And which one is the most meaningful?
excuse me, sorry.
It's fine.
Um, what's next? You know, I get that question a lot. I really, humanly speaking, I want to enjoy this game for as long as I can. It's a privilege. It's a blessing to be able to do it, and I want to enjoy it for as long as I can. But right now, with the team that we have in Kansas City, the amount of young guys and the potential that they have, I think it's time that I start making that transition to give them the fair amount of opportunity they need to develop and mature. That's how I feel, you know, and that's what I feel like I need to do right now, and I'm being called to do right now. So I mean, I don't know. It could be the moment all of my guys are healthy and clear to play. I think I'm really willing to gradually step out of that role and give them the opportunity, because they have the potential. I think
Mm,
they're going to be just fine. You know, my assistant coach, he doesn't like it.
Well, you're having a career year. I mean, it's tough. It's tough when and I'm sure just from the leadership standpoint, it's not the same as having you on the field, of course, right? Like when you're on the sidelines coaching as opposed to really being on the field.
Yeah,
Um,
we will miss 1, 2 points maybe, but I think the guys are capable of meeting that demand. I think the leadership part, like I said, the group of guys that I have, I think it doesn't matter if I'm playing or I'm coaching, they respond the same. I
yeah,
think for Stefan and I hate it. My wife would not like this, but for my wife, it's just the fact that they really think, hey, we'll be missing a couple of goals and assists and all that stuff. But I think we have the potential to be able to be successful.
sure.
So for
Yeah.
me, that's where I'm at right now. To answer your first question, I really don't know what's next. It's just one day at a time, and based
Mm,
on the availability of the guys that I have. That
okay.
makes sense. Yeah, the recognition is an honor. It's nice. I really like it. I cherished it. I enjoy it. And it's a blessing.
Hmm.
It brings attention to what I do and what I feel called to do. So it's always an honor when I'm being mentioned in that capacity, whether it's that honor or 200 points or 300 points, it feels
Sure.
special. Yeah.
Absolutely. Leo, thank you so much. This was such an incredible conversation, and I really enjoy you taking the time and getting to know a little bit more about you and where you've come from and how it's just shaped who you are. So I really, really appreciate it. Best of luck to you the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you too, Michelle. Thank you guys so
Thank
much.
you.
And we'll keep watching.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day. All right. This is MASL Midweek with Michelle Gingras. You can catch these episodes every Wednesday right here. We'll see you next week.